Hello and welcome back to the European HCS Pro League. My name is Sims, and what a way to start day number 1 of week number 4, a game 5. First one, I believe, actually seen on the show so far. Truly incredible stuff. Dinosaurs pushing U4X all the way to breaking point, but U4X still undefeated in the HCS Pro League. My name is Sims, and joining me once again, as ever, I have my beautiful two compadres, Mr. Daniel Gaskin and Mr. Harry Channon. Gents, I mean, what do you say to that? What a way to start Game 5.
Yep, I think U4X don't look as strong as they were before the change, but I definitely think the potential was showing through, and I'm really excited to see how they develop.
Yeah, I agree, and it goes to show that Dinosaurs, they didn't make a change, and I think it's really paying off for them now. They're coming into their own now that they've had the time to gel together, and I think that's really going to pay off against some of these sides who have made a change.
I mean, if it's kind of not broke, don't fix it kind of scenario, I'm interested to see exactly. I think the next match that's coming up is going to be truly incredible, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. I want to talk about some other things first. We've got a video of the week that we want to discuss. If you've been watching Ryan Noob's YouTube channel, you will see he's been putting out some tips. Some of the stuff that this man, I mean, is a professional player for a reason. His map movement, his nerdy trick shots and jumps are just truly unprecedented. If you guys get a chance, go over on YouTube. You can check it out. The link is there. Tips from from a noob at the bottom there, unfortunately. From a noob, esl.gg/Halo 5 tips from a really good noob. We all know Ryan Noob. We all know the kind of stuff that he can do and the level of Halo 5 that he brings to the table. Check out some of his exceptional videos. And you know what? A thank you to him to just making fantastic content. This is what we like in the community. Constant content producers over and over again. We're seeing a lot more people coming out of the woodwork now, and honestly, it just, every time I come on, it's either from beyond, one of the players, someone member of the community, the forums, and even now with the websites that we're seeing with the API, Halo 5 Arena, stat trackers, there's just so many more tools that we see in the Halo community.
Yeah, speaking of content, I'm surprised I managed to get through an entire Dinosaur series, considering I ninja'd 2 of their players this week.
You didn't say
I had to bring it up. Now the series is over, I feel like I can, but Flames and Cristola, I'm putting you on blast, boys. I'm not very good at Halo 5, but I ninja'd both of you this week, so any Pro League teams, I'm a free agent.
Wonder broken legs. That's what it's been all about. But we're moving in to the second series of the night. Let's take a look at who's going to be playing. It's going to be Team Infused versus Team Vibe. Now, this is quite an important matchup. Obviously, Vibe are hanging around down at the bottom of the table. We now have Infused who coming in to this with an unchanged team. Vibe has seen 2 team changes so far. We saw Speed exit and also Team Captain Ramirez. We're back into a new roster once again. Let's take a look at the series and break this down, how we will be seeing this best of 5.
Yep, Truth CTF and then Truth Slayer to start off. A bit different from last series where they were the finishers. Rig Strongholds is game 3. If we need them, Stasis capture the flag and Plaza Slayer to finish things off. Now, I am really excited to see this Vibe squad in action, but they're going to be up against some fierce competition in the Infused lineup. They didn't make a change. I'm absolutely delighted that they didn't, because of the kind of youthful roster that they have. It would have been detrimental to some of these players if they were kind of removed from the lineup when this is such a big moment for them. They are finally on the scene. They finally got a chance to prove themselves.
I think it would be very ignorant for us not to say that we heard some vicious rumours about a possible team change coming in. We knew that a lot of players were coming to the market with all the team changes stuff. Infused, for a minute we kind of heard they did get caught up on there, but at the end of it, all said and done, they are an unchanged roster. And to be honest with you, I think we all agreed that we're quite happy about that. I'm still a big fan of it. If it's not broke, don't kind of fixed it. You know, they are young players, the young talent. Didn't have the best of weeks last week, especially when we look at the Pulse game. Pulse came in with a new roster, and to be honest with you, kind of smashed through them a little bit. Fair enough, they took some games off of them, but when you kind of look at the various different things going forward, they still, I think it was kind of a bit of a catalyst. Fair enough, they got a big win on Dinosaurs the next day afterwards, which is a good booster, but generally the game against Pulse, I think, kind of put them on the rocks a little bit, questioning the team. But honestly, I'm glad they're unchanged.
Yeah, credit to them. We obviously knew that they initially had thought about making the change, and one of the players was kind of removed from that lineup, but then the fact that they were able to take that player back and they were able to make the mature decision for that is just great to see, that these players know what they need to do, that they can put kind of things aside and just accept that to move on, they need to be a lineup that sticks together.
My question is, does that completely reset the team chemistry? The fact that they were thinking about making that change and then kind of made the change but then went back on it at a later date, does that completely reset the chemistry? I think we're about to find that out as they go up against Vibe in this
Honestly,
series.
I think it's a team like Vibe who are not yet, and I say yet because we do know that this team has the capabilities to get to the top, but they're not yet at the top. It's a team like Vibe that you really want to get through. So if Fused can take down these guys in a 3-0, then for me, I think it kind of says, yeah, the chemistry's fine, the chemistry's there. However, this could be a crack in the armor. This could be like the little weakness that Vibe are looking to just say, all right, we've got a new team member. Let's practice. Let's use these guys a bit of a punching bag and show them what we're made of.
I mean, Infused, I think they said on Twitter, if we win today, we're guaranteed finals. They aren't quite, but if they win today, Vibe have to play U4X tomorrow, which means that Vibe will very nearly be out of the runnings for finals.
Okay, then let's kick this thing off on board with BDR. Big Daddy Riots now hanging around up. Straight on the top on P3, will drop down to P1, finds Flux, who has the camo, takes him out and cleans him up, so that's going to be burnt. While meanwhile on off-screen we see Doodle picking up a double kill. Let's pop on board with Warlord. Putting some great shots on a guy up inside car 2. Looking straight across the board, we're going to see Riot starting to run and actually going to chase down the flag. Gets the return in his own base. But look at the top middle control, Dan. One player, two player, one now in the base, and the other one hanging around on the carbine side. However, the flag is being run straight into the line of Warlord.
Yep, some early control from this Vibe lineup, but Warlord was in his base. He kind of waited patiently, saw where his teammates were, saw where that flag was being run, made the decision to push P rather than Car, stayed alive and got a very important kill on this flag guy, and that's what Warlord can do. He likes to get behind, he likes to be a nuisance, and I said it before in the last series, you've got to have that kind of player in your team. As long as he is listening to callouts and as long as he is happy to help when you need him, then that is definitely going to be an important player.
That's a little bit, I want to say a little bit unlucky. He did get a fantastic. Oh, look at this player though to his left-hand side. I think it's his right-hand side. He's doing exactly the same as what Kimbo did before. That's Riot's just kind of camped down in the corner, gives him a perfect to the back of the head, takes him down. The flag will still get a touch, so it's on the run. That's going to be Batchford though, on the defensive himself. We're going to see Flux coming across and pushing in hard, trying to bring this player back. Grenades go in, he's only one shot, needs some help. All of a sudden, we could possibly be seeing a standoff.
Yeah, and that was amazing that he kind of just waited around that corner. I think I even pointed out to you the other day, Rich, when when I said, why don't more players kind of sit here? And you said, well, the sightline's not that great, but Riot's used it to full effect. He baited out the flag, and they made sure that that flag did stay alive, as Septic is now currently fighting against this Infused lineup to keep this flag moving.
Yeah, this camouflage is actually coming up very, very soon. We've just seen the Fuel Rod come up top middle. That's the cue for the camouflage to come up next. I think it's Lunny from Vibe, who's actually in a perfect position to get that new camouflage. He's taken down the player who's trying to actually contest him. Septic gets the return, and there you go. Vibe are on the board, and Lunny has the camouflage.
Killing spree as well for Septic. He does get shut down. Lunny's going to be moving in with Storm Rifle and Camo. This is the kind of guy you don't want to be hanging around your base, especially with that. What a perfect kill. Running up the ramp, turns around. There's Warlord. Gives him the beatdown as well. Cracks open a double kill. He's now going to opt to pull this flag. I'd like to see someone else there to give him the support and pull it himself so he can make use of his camo, because at the moment they're just going to waste that, but it doesn't matter because look at this. You've got Septic on the opposing side, as we can see on the outlines. He's just stopping anyone from charging in. Stealth Cap as well. Quite ironic him is wearing the camo, but nobody, absolutely nobody. Septic went in, fair enough, he died, but he just anchored down that carbine side, and nobody, and I mean nobody, made it even close to the base.
Yeah, Infused definitely tried to push that carbine, but because Septic was just waiting at carbine 1, and then he made himself known, Infused had to back off, because otherwise they would just been accepting another death and just been giving up that map control.
We just saw Lunny as well throwing an absolute whopper of a nade. It went straight across and just hit Batchford straight in the face. Flag is now on the move though. There's no one else once again, Dan. They're just running this with ease. No one's even challenging them.
Yeah, just so much map control for Vibe. Infused are just trying their hardest to push out of the base, but at the moment Vibe have an answer for everything.
Yeah, I'm loving the chemistry here out of Vibe. This is 3 out of 4 of the team of XL that went to Halo Worlds. Lunny's actually going to put the 3rd flag in. No, he's not. Snakey is still fighting. They've not put the flag in just yet, but there you go. Vibe have taken game number 1. That was pretty handy against Infused. 3-0 there. What a game 1.
Well, I said 3 of these guys went to World Championships together. There is going to be some natural chemistry already. I mean, 9 kills across the board for Lunny, Septic and Riots, and 7 for Snakey. And we touched on it, perhaps thinking about that change from Infused is going to change the mindset for some of these players. Like, maybe I have to play well here, otherwise they might not have me for next season, kind of thing.
You know what's interesting about that game that we just saw Vibe win? They had not won Truth Capture the Flag in the Pro League before. They were 0-2, and the first time these two teams played, Infused won this game type 3-0. So what a complete turnaround there for Vibe.
9-9-9, 4-4-4. Certainly a night and day scenario when we look at the kills, kind of. They were rather badly outslain, but I kind of said this, you know, you called it perfectly. Shout out to Prismatic, who was the coach of Excel at the World Championship. Even he kind of sent me a message to say, these guys have been together before, they're at Worlds. He knows firsthand what they're like playing together. He's been behind the shoulder. We saw him in Germany. You know, this is a nasty roster, no matter what we say about it. I mean, do you think, real quick question to you both, do you think Vibe has come out better with this team change?
100%.
Oh yeah, I think so as well. But what I would like to highlight there on the replay, Septic cutting off that carbine. Yes, he goes down. He doesn't get a kill out of it, but he stops the players pushing in. It allows Lunny pretty much a free push onto the flag. He gets the flag up pretty much for free. And again, it comes down to that camouflage control as well out of Lunny. I mean, he picked up the camouflage coming off of the first cap. So they got the return, Septic got the return, Lunny got the camouflage, immediately got top middle, got a couple of kills, and then started running the flag. That's pretty much 2 flags back to back after the return from Septic.
I mean, it's pretty much a suicide when you're running into 2 players that have height control on you. But when you've just been able to push them back and been confident in your shot, and you put shots on both of them just to run that flag, and it kind of says, you know, a lot about your ability, and I think the ability of this team moving forward. Your thoughts on this roster? Have they come out they kind of come out better?
I mean, if you had said to me, send them to Worlds, take away Creepsy, put in Septic, I would have said that's a great change. They're quite similar players, but Septic, in my opinion, has more experience and is more of a leader. If you can lead 3 absolute powerhouses like Riots, Lunny, and Snaky, then you're in for a good kind of time here.
Another way to look at it is the old Vibe team. You know, with Ramirez, you take Ramirez out, you put Snaky in. I see Snaky as the kind of player who's like Ramirez, a little bit, I would like to say, not aggressive, but has maybe a bit of a tighter aim. So he's able to be as aggressive as Ramirez is, and is able to lead his team like Ramirez. Well, maybe not on par with Ramirez, but up to the kind of same standards. But with that slaying ability as well, because he has that tight aim. So I actually really like this Vibe team.
I just want to give a quick shout out, we're waiting for game number 2 to get underway, to the community article of the week. This time it's over at Gammas. Visit esl.gg/Gammas HCS. HCS community is well and alive. Some of the articles that the guys over at Gammas have been putting out, I'm not sure if you guys have read them, but they are absolutely fantastic. They break down some of the players, some of the biggest storylines of the HCS Pro League. They discuss the HCS Pro League in quite high level detail. Seriously good stuff. Get on over to Gammas, give them a visit and check out some of their incredible articles. Game number 2, Slayer on Truth is rock and rolling. Do you think, Dan, this is going to be the same as what we saw before? Because honestly, I've got to say, Vibe were in the driving seat, not only of the objective work, but in the slaying work as well.
I'm really worried for Infused. I mean, this is going to be a big momentum thing for Vibe, and there's going to be a lot playing in the minds of this Infused lineup. Harry, who are we going to start things off with?
Let's start off with Riots. He went down early on in the previous game, but this could be a very similar story to what we saw in Game 5 of our last series. We saw Dinosaurs. They weren't able to keep their claws into the camouflage. See what I did there, guys? Dinosaurs claws, right? Whoever gets the camouflage and the rifle control on this game type will win. It seems to be a very snowbally game type. It's in fact Flux here from Infused, who's picked up the first camouflage.
And he's going to make his way inside the base, support his team captain Doodle. Personally would like him to be a little bit more aggressive. Probably just trying to find his feet, really. I'd be quite concerned as well after what just happened. We'll turn off the player outlines for just a second. Missing some quite windy shots there on Septic. The sword's going to be down though, so he's going to be able to rally around and grab that. His teammates down with him, so that'll be giving some confusion on the radar to Snaky, who will get caught off guard, finally will get taken down. Checking the top middle section, there is a player down there who has just died. Now they're going to be spawning in the blue side, but all members of Vibe, let's see if Snaky does as well, follows to boot. They're all focused and really concentrating on that opposing P side. Snaky gets a good grenade off, doesn't manage to land its target. They'll turn around, find Septic. Septic gets away with his life, but I like what Flux is doing, Dan. He's not chasing, he's just going to hold up, you know, kind of live again, fight another day. However, Septic's down there still. He's crouching around. He needs to be extremely careful it doesn't come back to bite him in the bum.
And basically what Flux is doing is just keeping them in the base and allowing his team to just control that top mid, control those towers. And this is exactly what Infused needed to do going into the game. They needed to be aggressive early on, get those trade-offs, and get control of the map nice and early and not allow Vibe to set up. But Vibe have been doing well. They're pushing as a unit, which is something we didn't really see the Dinosaurs doing. Dinosaurs were trying split pushes when they were kind of in this position of being behind, as Riot does try and push him with a sword, but Flux gets the ball through, and Flux is doing really well to stay alive right now.
I have no idea what happened there. That must have been a thrust of the gods, because we just saw Riot comes flying through, gets the ball through, is taken down. Massive kill for them. That sword could have done some dangerous damage to the entirety of the team.
This is actually a very vital point of the game. Now Lunny has a carbine in his control. The camouflage is coming up very, very soon as well. This is the second camouflage of the game, so whoever gets this camouflage will know the timing going forward. Lunny does go down, and I'm thinking I'm going to see Septic here with the camouflage. Riot has the fuel rod. I'm trying to get to Septic. There you go. He instas the camouflage, but oh no, Flux there to stop him. Flux had the last camouflage, I do believe, so he knew the time to shut down Septic.
So both teams now know the time of the next camo, so we'll look to expect quite a serious interaction down at P1. Next time that will be popping 13 to 15 as you score the 9:20 mark. There's going to be Batchford who flies back, gets a grenade to the face. Lunny throws another one looking for any hit markers on screen. We're seeing a double kill with one grenade coming out of Flux as well, which will bring them back ever so slightly and take the lead by 2-3 now. 9 minutes on the clock. He's starting to escalate just a little bit. Lunny will take 2 shots from Batchford earlier on, does thrust around. Batchford shuts him out and closes it down. As we also see Doodle picking an important kill up on the kill feed as well. Moving back to Warlord's going to help his teammate out Flux as well. They're just hanging around this base. Overall, so far, I've got to say, a lot slower pace than what we're expecting, especially in the last one. It were all guns blazing, but this is kind of just going to, not necessarily passive, but certainly slower.
It's at a good tempo, though. Infused need to keep it at this kind of tempo. They don't want to slow it down too much, but they don't want to get too kind of aggressive either, and they don't want to give up this map control, because if they do allow Vibe to get that top mid, get those towers, Vibe do have the players with the experience to really take command of this map. As Warlord gets the double kill, he looks around for the triple. Can he get it on Riot? Yeah, he gets the triple kill.
I saw what you did there as well. You did the same as what we kind of. I knew you would be wanting to put that in after hearing Towie about it last week. God, I knew it was coming. But anyway, triple kill coming out of Warlord's going to extend their lead quite a lot. Goes for another one, looking to extend it by 10. In goes the plasma. I have no idea how this player is alive. Needs to be careful he doesn't step onto his own splinter, which he doesn't. He'll turn base, find Snaky. There's the double kill. Cracking shots coming out of Warlord right now.
Yeah, the camouflage is coming up very, very, very soon. Excuse me. 38 on the game clock, I do believe. But look at the score. It's 32 to 20. That's a 13 kill lead now for Infused. When the camouflage was last coming up, I'm pretty sure they were within 2 kills of each other. And check it out, 14 kills. And again, look at the kill feed. Flux with a rifle. It's going to be Batchford with the new camouflage.
He's going to have his back up against the wall, as well as he's pinned in by a couple of landmines just waiting there to take off his shield if he wants to poke forward. He's managed to stay alive. I know he hasn't. Lunny's finally taking him down. You can see on the kill feed there, so he's going to be out of that corner. However, that's a sword guy. Be very careful, Batchford. He isn't all. He's going to manage to turn face on the sword guy. Put that one down. Probably going to call it out to one of his teammates. Looks across. There's 2 of them over in the P tower. Grenades are coming in. No hit markers whatsoever, but you know what? He's getting taken down from the blue window. Great shots from Lunny, though, to see a camo guy like that wandering across top mid, and he was wandering, so that he won't be showing very well. Finally, they shut him down. That's going to be an important kill going forward. 38 to 24 is the score, though, Dan.
I'm really surprised that Infused are doing so well in this Slayer game. To be honest, I would have thought it would have gone the other way. Infused winning the objectives, and this Vibe lineup winning the Slayers. But at the moment, Infused just doing perfectly. They're pushing well together. They're staying as twos. They're just keeping in close proximity, making sure they can support each other. Because at the moment, all they need to do is trade 1 for 2, and they will win this game with ease.
2 players are going to be pushing on the top mid, though. He's coming straight out of P. He's going to try and help his teammate as he turns around. Riot's is overextending just a tad. He's going to go one-on-one Carbine versus BR. Vibe. I'm seeing 3 kills coming down on the kill feed. Warlord's the last alive. He's going to be running under the base. He just needs Septic to drop down, give his teammates some support, put a bit of pressure on. He does a little cheeky duck, though. Warlord, please. Oh, my word. Rest in peace, Septic. That was a disgusting bob and weave coming out of Warlord.
Yeah, Warlord is that kind of player, though. He's just an absolute trick kind of master. He knows all the jumps, he knows all the kind of crouch abilities, and he will just bob and weave and get in your face, as we now see Lunny pushing towards this P. And at the moment, Vibe really need to get this top mid control if they want to get back in this game, because they really need to play flawlessly.
We're seeing Vibe here set up very early for this camouflage. That's because they don't know the time of it. We saw Septic there down at P1. I believe he actually went down. It's right, so it's down there now. Infused got the last 2 camouflages, I do believe, or at least they knew the time of the last 2, so wouldn't be surprised to see Infused pick up this camouflage again, as we see, I think it's Warlord here, dropping down to P1 to pick up, or at least burn this camouflage. That's exactly what happens, and that pretty much solidifies the game for Infused. It's going to be tough for Vibe to come back now with no power-up to work with.
Yeah, all they need is 6 more kills. Septic's down there. Batchford's not going to push because he knows he's got Lunny on the ramp as well, just waiting for him to overextend so he can clean up that free and easy kill. He's going to use Doodle for bait a little bit, as Doodle, his team captain, will put some shots on down. Drops down, sees that Septic's crawling around. Lunny's in that corner again. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to call that corner, but so far it's been the sneak every single time we just see a player hanging around. You can't get any shots off from the left-hand side. However, you can also not be seen whatsoever, and it's very, very easy to be super, super sneaky. Eyes on the prize. He looks at the fuel rod, though. Top mid using that as bait as well. They only need 2 more kills down. 444. I think this is pretty much game, set, and match.
It is. Vibe did have map control when that camo came up, but they decided they were going to get aggressive. They said, look, we're only going to win this game by getting kills, so let's just get in the base. They will just wait in the base forever otherwise, as we see Batchford getting the double kill to finish off the game, tying up the series 1-1. Fantastic response from Infused after that terrible game 1 for them.
Yeah, Infused continue their Truth Slayer streak. They are now 3-0 in the Pro League on that game type. Flux with a big game. We saw him in week 1 as well, actually, I do believe, on Truth Slayer, just controlling the rifles. That's exactly what he's done this week as well. 17 and 7 out of Flux. 9 assists from Warlord as well. On the other side, 5 and 12 out of Riots, 9 and 15 out of Snakey. Just outclassed, really. It's so hard to push out on Truth Slayer when the other team has control of both the camo for half of the game and those rifles and the map control as well.
I'm starting to find that Riot's stats are kind of becoming a little bit like 57. If we see him go down, he can go down quite badly, and that generally ends up being a loss for the team. But then when he goes off, and he can, and this man does go off, it's kind of an instant win. So looking at the moment, not necessarily struggling a little bit, but certainly inconsistent from game by game.
I definitely don't think he's the same Riots that we saw back in like H2A and Halo 3 and Halo 4. He seems to have lost his passion a little bit, and perhaps after the kind of 2 unfortunate team changes, that might do that to you as a player. So I want to see him kind of just get interested in this game again, enjoy playing with his team.
Yeah, that triple we saw right there from the Fuel Rod player was all because the Infused had that map control. He was allowed to push in with the Fuel Rod. He got that triple kill, that extended the lead. And check out the score now. Yes, Vibe can trade, and that's exactly what they did, but the 10-point lead pretty much was held by Infused for most of the game, purely off of that good spell of the rifle control, and again, that power-up control as well.
Amazing stuff for them, and what a way to turn it around after, I want to say, a slapping in game number 1. It really was a bit of a warm-up, to be honest with you. They got 3-0'd in quick succession, and of course, the scoreboard and the kill feed kind of told the story as well. Look at the night and day scenario. 0-3 Truth CTF. Vibe claimed victory in that one. Then we're moving to game number 2, which was Truth Slayer, and it's 50-36. We're moving into the Rig Strongholds for your game number 3. Any initial thoughts on this one for you? You've been doing the vetoes on this, Dan. Is there anything you've kind of seen when it comes to this? And you've got all the stats and statistics.
I mean, in general, people have been avoiding Rig Strongholds a little bit. They seem more happy to play Plaza, but because of everyone playing Plaza, you've seen who's good and who's bad at that map. So now it's being kind of vetoed out of the rotation. So we will start to see the Empires and the Rigs as we kind of progress into the last week.
Any initial thoughts on Strongholds?
These teams have played this game type 3 times between them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Vibe are 1-1 and Infused are 1-0. So Infused haven't lost the Ring Strongholds. There's that, I suppose, and Vibe have only won it half the time. So I don't know if you can take that for granted, really.
So it's kind of anyone's game, is what we're saying. Even playing field. Chuck them in and let them fight. We're going to do a quick community shout out as well. We're doing all these throughout the HCS Pro League. We want to grow the Halo community and help kind of give a bit of a baseline and a bit of a spotlight to all the great content creators out there. This week it's all about the community supporters, everything to do with you guys. Proleague.com/Halo. You've got the community webpage on there, YouTube content creators, articles, we have video recaps, lineups. We've seen the Beyond Rewind, all the different levels of content now are coming out of the woodwork, and it's truly, truly incredible. We give you guys a nice foundation there to showcase them on. Game number 3 is locked and loaded. We are moving into strongholds on the rig. Harry, who are we kicking things off with, brother? I don't want no curse of the caster, though, please.
Well, Flux had a really great game last game,
so I'll kill him. I'll choose him then.
We'll get him killed at the start of this game to make it a little bit more fair on Vibe.
All right, then let's kick it off with Flux, a POV. Move across and find him now.
Where are you?
There he is. Grenades are going in thick and fast. Almost grabbing a quick kill there. He's just going to have eyes on the prize, which will be that camo. 2 people running down Whitehall, giving him the defense that he needs, but great. Jumps up straight onto the ledge to find that initial kill over in the nest. They still do get it. It gives his teammates some time to change. Now he's going to get that uncontested camo, and the reason that's so important is because now Vibe will have no idea which time he picked it up.
Very contrasting starts as well. Infused were more than happy to sit back. I don't know if that's just because of where they were spawned, but they were more than happy to sit back, wait for that camo, and allow Vibe to start pushing towards those strongholds. Vibe, however, rushed for that nest, which we know is absolutely crucial to win this game, but then Infused got that kind of map control. They got 3 of the Vibe players down, and then they were able to push in. Now they have 2 of the strongholds, and they're putting points on the board.
Great trigger discipline. That's twice he's just cancelled the initial shot. Clips Snaky's leg round a corner, rips him apart. He sees another player dropping down. Charge it, gets it as well. Killing spree. A couple of body shots finally that will shut him down, but the damage was done. He was going off there. There were some incredible shots, weren't there?
Yeah, Flux should have died there, and he put some body shots in there as well, just to let him know, like, look, I absolutely destroyed you there. You definitely should have killed me.
Curse of the caster, they said. He had camo and railgun, Sims. Come on.
Oh, is this how it goes now? So he initially dooms us all for 3-0s in the initial start of the week. Now you're dooming players. You know what? They're going to do well. But to be fair, you have kind of blacklisted them initially for the first few weeks. So Harry, we're gonna let you off with that one. 19-3 is the current score. Vibe have just got themselves 2 plots. Remember how super, super, super important it is to control that nest. Lunny's checking down Whitehall. They're going to be spawning in the back bunker, and he knows this is going to be a guy you can see on the kill feed down at the SMG. That's where Batchford will spawn as well, so they're all in there. They're shutting down the Whitehall guy. That's a big play. He also had Scattershot. If they get the hold of that Scattershot, they can control the Whitehall. They can go and get themselves nest, and then they can bring themselves back into this game. They've still got a lead. Batchford, though, we've called him Railford before because of the things we've seen this man do with this gun. He knows how to use it. He's got another one down the corner in the hall. These guys swiping now. It's like the old school sweep sniping. You just fling this gun round and it instantly finds its target every single time.
Oh my word. Both teams kind of contesting for this Whitehall control at the moment. Vibe had it, but there was no one really to support Lunny. Obviously, from Whitehall, you can see every single stronghold, so it's very important to have it. Batchford getting some key kills with the railgun, but he is taken down. But we see total control for Infused right now. If they can just stop this push towards Nest, they might be able to put some serious points on the board.
I like this play, though, from Doodle. It's a very unorthodox way to reach the Nest. Snaky doesn't expect it, and all of a sudden he stops that cap and turns it back. If he kills Lunny as well, this would be huge to stop anyone in Whitehall. Was looking for an assist meld, came in just a little bit too late.
That right there is a critical play there from Doodle. Snaky didn't expect him to come from that direction because he figured, hey, my teammates are over there. There's no way there's going to be a player from that direction. Snaky completely caught unawares. He trusted his teammates. He was wrong to do so. Doodle absolutely outsmarting all of Vibe.
Then all of a sudden he just drops down, gets a face full of the scatter shot. Lunny going one-on-one with Flux. They're turning this one around. They're trying to stop the triple cappers. Batchford will move down into the BR base. He's going to hide in the corner, but you know what? The BR base is still being converted, so they know he's there. He's got support from Warlord, which is good, as we see Lunny come steamboating around.
He got the re.
Yeah, he's going to clean him up at least. A little bit unlucky, though. There'll be 2 of them dive bombing in that hill, though, so the hill will get transferred back faster. Now they're going to make their way around to the basement section. Triple cap in effect, Dan.
Yeah, Infused kind of just backed off, and even though Lunny just charged into that BR base, he got the reset, but because there was 2 Infused players, they just really quickly got that stronghold back. Obviously, the more people that you have in the stronghold, the quicker you do gain it, as Doodle picking up another really important kill in that nest.
And honestly, this really feels like they're just completely solidifying themselves at the top spot of European Halo right now. This is a totally... They've really warmed up to, you know, kind of what we initially said off that game one. I was like, oh, this ain't looking good for Infused, but right now, the scoreline, the slaying power, the power weapon control, everything for me is currently in the hands of Infused.
Well, this was the kind of control that I was expecting out of Infused in Game 1, just because they do have more experience than Vibe. They have stuck together through these roster changes, but perhaps they were just a little bit shaky, and maybe Truth CTF isn't a great map for them, but they're performing well at the moment. They've got decent control. If they can get the next camo as well, then they are looking good.
I honestly think it was actually Batchford who picked it up. Septic didn't quite see him, and then Batchford just turns him into a bunch of autumn leaves. Goes chasing down a camo guy. You poke the ghost, you're going to get killed at the end of the day. Turns around. Doodle's getting caught off guard, though. That's going to be a kill for Lunny. We'll put some great shots on the guy down in the basement as well, as he just tries to keep the spawners who are spawning on that back carbine. But what a nade from Warlord. He bounces it off the back of the wall, takes down Lunny, and stops the nest conversion.
I like how Lunny did try and challenge it whilst he was in nest, rather than just kind of sitting there and succumbing to the grenade. He definitely said, look, okay, I'll take the fight to you a little bit. He then realized he had no hope, so he did try and survive a little bit, but the grenades did catch him eventually.
So many times in a row now we've seen Infused just absolutely just defending that nest. They seem to... They're clearly prioritizing it. I think that's fair to say. They're saying, hey, you know what, we've got nest, let's not give it up for the rest of the game. We see Riots here pushing the nest. They might actually be able to fashion a capture out of that, but in fact there's a nade that comes in again. So a good stand on the nest, but 2 kills out of Septic will help them take the nest. Let's see if Vibe can use this to springboard back into this game.
And of course you can see there as well, as we look across the side, Infused at the moment are quite spread out. They're all over 4 different areas of this entire map at the moment. We saw them spawning in the back of bunker when that were Riots coming off for Vibe, so he managed to secure the bunker section. That'll be a huge kill from him, so he gets the trade. They do get the transfer as well. Now we see Warlord jumping down just to try and stop. He's going to touch the edge of basement to try and stop the conversion. 1 player's running in. It's a 1-on-1. What a trade though, 2 players, and all of a sudden Doodle, fair enough, he gets taken down by the railgun, but he does stop the full conversion.
Yeah, it's so important that he was able to just tap his foot into that stronghold just to reset it for long enough so they could bleed a couple more points out this game. They are only 10 points off winning. They've got control of nest, and they've had control the whole time, especially Doodle is really focused on pushing that nest, keeping that nest alive. Right, he's going to try and take it, but Flux is there as an answer, and that's what Infused have done all game. They have had an answer to every push that Vibe has provided.
They need to take down Snakey, and they need to take him down fast, but several key players. Reversal coming out of Flux as well. I feel a teabag coming in. I think it was 1 body shot as Badger moves forward. Snakey comes in, takes him down with a railgun, gives him a face, but holy hell, Flux, what a perfect kill. Kills the guy up on the top rail section. 2 players coming out the spawn from the back. Septic goes for an early beatdown, unfortunately doesn't land it. Flux gets a little bit too overextensive and has to back down. Great players from Septic. Once again they will meet, but it doesn't matter, guys. Game, set and match, 100-42. The Red Army coming back, fired up. Infused. That was a great comeback, especially from game number 1.
Yeah, I agree, and Flux seems to have been the man of the moment at the moment. 22 kills from Flux. That's just an absolute stellar performance out of him. Doodle, we saw him with only 9 kills, but how many times did we see him securing that nest? I mean, it's just absolutely vital kills. And at the end of the game, we're seeing, what was that, 4 down here from Vibe at the end of the game? That's crazy. 7 captures from Septic, but it was not enough.
6 captures, 5 secures. You mentioned it, Harry, from Doodle. The team captain doing the objective, and that's kind of exactly what I want. Kind of reminiscent to what Ramirez does, fair enough. You don't see the kills coming in and the stats, but when it comes to the raw objective and end of the day, the win is what counts. Truly incredible stuff.
It was that moment when Doodle with the railgun kind of dipped under, and then he surprised Snakey. Really important kill, and that was kind of what he was doing all game. He was just saying, look guys, nest is on lockdown by me, you guys just go get everything else, I'll make sure that these guys don't get it.
I'm really hoping we caught that on replay. Let's see if we can actually find it, because it was such an unorthodox play, and even, I mean, I'm assuming, I have seen it done before, but I certainly didn't see it done as well as that, and that was the one. So initially he run down, dropped down the bottom section, he jumped onto a little cheeky lip as such, and then just Snakey was completely caught off guard.
I think the big thing, it just showed how much map control that Infused had, the fact that Doodle was able to just dip down and it wasn't shot by anyone as well, so that just showed how well Infused were controlling it.
He was playing like he had camo, even though he wasn't camouflaged. He was just like, I can pretty much be sneaky here because I know my team are controlling that rail tower area. And this defense right here, look at how close this is to being reset. A player slides in, contests, Lunny goes down, and they actually get the reset on that stronghold as well. That's
even
so
after that, there was a second play one that Doodle comes in, puts his foot in there. And I just kind of want to touch what you mentioned about playing as if he had camo. That initial jump that he did, he actually had 2 players over in the BR base, and they completely run past him.
That last replay, though, that we saw, Warlord was the one contesting it first. He was the point of view we were on. The railgun was coming up. He saw it, but then he got the call. Basement's being taken, so he decided, hey, you know what? I don't need to pad my stats. Let's drop down, contest this basement. He basically bided enough time for Doodle to come in, and then the rest is history. They got the reset, and they won the game.
So here we go then, guys. Moving into game number 4. Can Infused seal the deal with a 3-1 and see Vibe off to keep them down that bottom end of the table? Now, we've seen these guys play Stasis before, and honestly, they're pretty damn good at it. The amount of... I know... when I've seen kind of Batchford playing on this, he opts always to kind of run that high side. But he has told me in the past the preference to run like an objective like a flag is definitely the low side because of the amount of cover that you've got. And with a man who I know is a big Hydra fan over there, we also do know that low-ended section you can. I'm not a Hydra fan. he's a Rocky boy.
Why is anyone a Hydra fan?
Whoa. Don't hate on my baby.
I bet you're the kind of guy that hits plasma as well, like your plasma caster.
It's alright now. Before
Get good.
Oh, learn the meta, please, boy.
Come on, man.
But yeah, moving in. So, Stasis, any initial thoughts on this one, Dan?
both of these teams clearly very happy to play it. I don't think either of them have vetoed it very much compared to the likes of Dinosaurs, who have vetoed it every single time. These guys are more than happy to play this game, so we're looking for a good matchup here, I think.
I really do find that this kind of plays to the advantage of the young, aggressive player. Like, you know, just get stuck in. We've got rockets, we've got an OS. Bang, 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 shotguns there. Get the weapons, hit the flag. Get it going, boys. And I really feel this kind of plays to the strength of people who just love to get stuck in and give a good challenge. I don't know about yourselves. Like, whenever I'm playing it, I'll just get people running at me with every single weapon under the sun.
It's definitely a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of map. You just pick up what you can, you find a shotgun, you find a rocket, so you grab the overshield like you said, and it's that initial start who can get that first overshield. If you can survive with that first overshield, then it's going to be crucial going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting that you say it favours the young, aggressive team of Infused. They're actually undefeated on Stasis Capture the Flag. Played 2-1-2, but so have Vibe. They've only played it once, but they beat the Dinosaurs in week number 1, so let's see if Infused can close out this series. They're 2-1 up in this series. Let's see if they can come out on top.
Alright, we'll stick on board with whoever we kick off the game with and see the initial start. He will grab. It's going to be Riot grabbing the Diamant, going after Flux, pushing down hard on the high side. Rockets are still there. They're going to get taken by Septic. He's got a guy top mid though in the form of Warlord, and we just saw off of that side action, it was Warlord who actually jumped on top. I need to kind of break this one down a little bit. Warlord jumped on top of the ledge where the rockets were and ground pounded Septic in the face, then cleaned him up with an AR. He did go down, still not entirely sure. There we are, so Warlord picks up the rockets. That's a huge play from him. They now kind of have the weapon advantage.
Incredible play there from Warlord, just having that much confidence that you can use those mechanics, use those ground pounds, but the rockets are going to end up in the hands of Doodle, in the hands of the team captain, but he's going to run the flag at the same time. He doesn't care if he's got rockets in his back pocket. It's definitely good to be able to drop this flag and use those rockets, but personally I'd quite like it if he chucked the flag here to a teammate and then he supports them with the rockets.
The thing is, what he's doing, you can tell he's not throwing it on purpose. Obviously if you throw it, you then give away your position. Fair enough, flag bouncing is a thing. It always has been in Halo. We all know about it. We all know and love it. However, because he's not dropped this, they have no idea where it is in the world. And with those rockets in his back pocket, if anybody, absolutely anybody, comes close to him, unless he's caught off guard by someone just steamboating him with a shotgun, he's pretty much got 2 kills in the bag and 2 guaranteed defenses.
Right here, this is pretty much a war of attrition at this point. I can't see either teams going for the returns immediately. There's 30 seconds until the next rocket launcher comes up. It's just popped up on your screen. Immediately after that, at bottom middle, the overshield comes up. So if you could get rockets, if you can get overshield, you can then formulate a push and then get the return.
I actually think, just as you say that, I'm pretty sure you can probably confirm this one, Dan. I actually think it was Batchford who just killed a player top mid and got the rockets, so that will be 2 sets of rockets now in the hands of Infused.
They're not up yet.
Yeah, it's perfect now. The rockets are still there. They're going to be up in 5 seconds, but it'll be a perfect time to push if they are able to get this second set of rockets. I'm worried that Doodle, when he drops his flag, he will still have his pistol out and not have his rockets. So it's not going to be as easy to just drop and fire a rocket. I really want one of his teammates to take this flag off him because those rockets could do so much work in trying to return this flag.
However, on the other side, we've now got Flux with OS. Fair enough. We've got Lunny coming in with a shotgun. He's getting shot in the back as well. It's going to be Snakey. Will drop down behind the table. Snakey coming in on fire. Doodle will ping him across the map, though. And on the other hand, I suppose he does still have this defensive side if anybody wants to come closer. Harry, if we just run through the POV, show everyone at home exactly where people are stationed. We've got Snakey and Riots running down on the high side. 4 people over on Infused in the back of the base, trying to give defense on the high side. We see a little bit of an advancement coming in from Vibe. Grenade there. He's going to back out so he doesn't get hit. 3 people now turtling back to defend this flag guy. Flux will chase hard. He'll get punished for it because he's going to get hit in the back, and then that allows Riots to clean him up. A little bit messy. However, Lunny has just taken out Doodle with rockets. That's rocket on rocket.
Yeah, I do think that Doodle actually had no ammo in the rockets. I looked in the top right when he did switch out from the flag and it had 0 in the chamber. So I think actually he was out of ammo with the rockets. So I will take back all comments about dropping the flag. He did the right thing by keeping that flag.
But we do know that rockets in this map are so keen and important because if you grab hold of them, you can essentially just flip this entire thing on its face. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that neither team scored a flag off of that. Both of them were actually returned during that rocket on rocket kind of scenario.
And how often does that happen, right? When you get in that standoff, one team will just get really aggressive and push, 3-on-3 will die and then it will reset, but both teams pushed at the same time and they both got the returns, and it does happen time and time again.
Yeah, Rockets coming up in 20 seconds here, Sims. Just quickly before you start commentating again, 15 seconds for Rockets, then immediately afterwards Overshield bottom middle. So watch for both teams to fight for these 2 key power-ups and weapons on this map.
And the flag is going in the bag, so if they can get a hold of what you've just said, Harry, both Rockets and the OS, they could potentially slay again and put another one in. Rockets are there for Warlord. That's a triple kill coming in.
No!
Oh, Warlord, choke of the sentry. He's got a one-shot, hit one rocket, missed the second one. That could have been a triple. However, Doodle, his team captain, will claim them. That's going to be Batchford also, who will glitch, but he actually turned his back to Riots. Holy hell, Batchford will get assassinated. Never turn your back to Big Daddy Riots because he's going to make you punish.
I mean, the Vibe lineup, they just swarmed on that Overshield. He had to turn his back on somebody. He decided to turn his back on Riots because Riots was further away, but Riots just kind of charged in and got the back smack. But I am impressed with the amount of Overshield control from this Infused lineup. If they can just keep grabbing it and keep it out of the hands of Vibe, then they're going to be in good shape going into the rest of this game.
That was a big kill as well. Came in with a span charge to at least take him down because he did have that shotgun. Now he's got 2 one-shots. There's Warlord as well. Oh, I'm sure he can get this kill. Come on, Riots, you can do it. He does indeed. Needs to be careful, though, of anyone running down the shotgun hall. There goes the grenade. Takes him down, so the shotgun will still be up. Lunny's going to take that and try and claim that for his own. As you see, Septic now being super, super aggressive. And the best thing about this play is that he's got a lot of support. Fantastic shots coming in from Doodle. Going to pre-grenade that flag now if anybody wants to take a step on it. But he's going to look away from it from just a second. Puts down a plasma, but the important person is here. Lunny. Shotgun in hand.
Oh.
That was so close. I'd have been super impressed if they got that one.
It definitely was close, but Vibe are able to put that flag in. They ran it high side. I prefer low side, but high side does work because you have got that so much cover with that shotgun tunnel. And at the moment, Vibe are looking relatively strong, but Infused have been using those overshields. And if that next overshield does go in the hands of Infused, they might use it for one big push to get their second flag on the board.
I suppose it's generally like the old kind of shrine. You take a quick look at what's the best alternative, and it's all kind of situational. And I suppose that's generally Halo in a nutshell. You look at where you're going to run the flag, where your teammates are, and what's the best route. The best kind of route for him at that time was definitely that, because we had Lunny just anchoring with that shotgun inside the tunnel so no one else could push him.
Rocket launcher ready, Sims. You know what that means. The overshield is now coming up. That's exactly what Lunny is caring about right now. He knows that overshield is coming up next. He has the rockets already. He's cleaned out bottom middle. It should be an easy overshield grab. I'm not sure if Doodle actually burned it just then. I'm pretty sure he might have mistimed it. But check out the kill feed. 5 kills across the board. That's going to allow Lunny and co to start moving this flag, and Infused still wondering where that overshield is, still wondering what's going on with the rockets, and the flag's still on the move here from Vibe.
I love the positioning from Lunny, but he just can't get that rockets. How many times have we seen these players just miss those rockets by a few inches? If he could have got that first kill, he would have had the rocket in the chamber to get that second, but
Wow.
Vibe are still able to put the flag in. Fantastic thrust there from Riots.
You know what? He's going to die. Let's have a crack and let's have a go at this flag. Doodle, though, we're going to try and pull one himself to try and get a counter cap. However, 2 players are now anchoring that high side section. No doubt that one of them's got a shotgun in the back pocket. Septic's going to chase him round. Dan will answer back and say, there you go, that's what happens. That's what you get when you chase a player. But it was a good chase, because if you want to shut him down, at the end of the day, could have been in a lot of trouble, so you need to have a go on it now and again. Riots will get shut down as he goes for Batchford, who's running this through the bottom middle section. Doodle picking up a shotgun to boot as well. And now it's all on Flux, who's going to run back into this backside to put it into the inside the portal just to see if anyone else wants to run through there. But you know what? He's going to get shut down as we look inside the hut. 2 more players. Sticky as well. He's now turning into a bit of an Infused nightmare for Team Vibe.
It's just fantastic movement from Infused. They're moving with the flag, which you see some teams not do. They try and like kind of sit too high, and it doesn't mean you can get that flag back.
That entire flag run essentially came from Vibe trying to pull a flag themselves. I think Infused was able to kill 2 of the players trying to move that flag across the map. And then they just ran into bottom middle. Doodle cut off Riots, I do believe it was, bottom middle, and then the flag went in as well. So like you say, that great movement here from Infused. Warlord there will trade with Lunny, and we're all tied up. Next capture will win the game, and Overshield coming up very soon as well.
And Rockets have just popped. I think both of them have possibly just popped. I mean, I definitely saw one, may have seen another. However, Septic does try to stay alive. Would much prefer him to try and grab that SMG, just back off and turtle into a corner rather than having to crack at it. He did, unfortunately, paid the price. Will run in now, but unfortunately, Riots is already there to pick it up. 2 people are grenading, though. You can't. Oh, that's
dear. Riots,
no,
please.
No! Rest in peace, Riots. 2 players, 3 beatdowns from Batchford. Fair enough, it's a trade, but that's a damn good trade to take down the enemy's OS guy.
But Riots did well to get the overshield. It's often in these last few minutes you can forget the timings of the overshield, you can forget the timings of the rockets. I mean, obviously now the game does tell you when rockets are coming up, but it does look like that last flag is going to be put in by Vibe. They're going to continue this game. It's going to be 2-2 in the series. Wow. That was a great performance from Vibe.
2 game 5 so far in our broadcast. What a performance out of Vibe to push this series to a game 5. Batchford 21 kills, 3 returns, but the Vibe side, they come out with the win, 3-2. 2 caps out of Septic, the other one coming from Riots, and pretty even in kills across the board. A very well-rounded performance there from Vibe.
Now, honestly, this is where things start to come in to my mind and I get flashbacks to the Pulse game. The pressure is on the young guys. The pressure is definitely here on Infused. They know how much this is a very, very important game to stamp your mark on European Halo and kind of solidify yourself as that top 4 team. They need to take these guys down in this game 5. When I think about this, though, definitely when you look at the experience of moving into situations like this is well and truly for me in the hands of Team Vibe. I don't know about you, but I think this will kind of all come down to who best fits this next game type.
I mean, on paper, if you were a betting man, you'd probably go for Vibe just because of the experience of these situations. But these players are sat at home. They are in the comfort of their nice warm rooms with their mum cooking them dinner, so they are going to be relatively comfortable with this situation. It's not like a LAN kind of hall.
Yeah, but check out the replays at the moment. We're seeing a lot of shaky plays coming out of Infused. They just lost the game, and Riots there was pretty much allowed a free capture. He was no shields. It's a pretty tough shot to hit, in all fairness, but there's a lot of shaky plays. But this right here, rest in peace, Riots. My word.
Farewell, Overshield. Especially when you've got young gods just beating you down in the face and giving you a blunt end of an elbow, especially like with Batchford.
Yeah. I mean, but he distracted 2 of those players whilst he had Overshield and allowed his team to run that flag. So just by grabbing the Overshield, regardless of doing absolutely zilch with it in terms of kills, he made the distraction, allowed his team to pull the flag. Vibe take it 3-2, and we're going into a Plaza Slayer to finish things off.
Vibe game 1, Infused game 2, Infused game 3, Vibe game 4. Tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS. Game 5 alert, guys. This is the second one of the night. We've not seen one before. And now we see 2 in a row. Boys, we ain't getting home till late. We're going through for the long one. I blame you, just because I want to. But Infused, of course, will lose the second one. And then Vibe are answering back. All guns blaming. Anything can happen in this next game. All to play for. This is super, super important.
Do you want to hear something funny about this game 5?
Oh,
Go on, hit me.
Go on, mate.
Neither team has won this game type in the Pro League. Is that hilarious, you guys? Do you just hit me?
I did, actually. I'm really sorry.
Actually,
how giddy are you?
That's scale of 1 to 10.
We're at second game 5. I'm hyper as hell.
Infused at 0-1 on this game type, Vibe at 0-2. So take from that what you will. I just put the facts out there. You guys can make an opinion on it. I don't know.
Stick your hand in the barrel and see how it comes. I mean, you've got to say this kind of who can really hold their own the best. You know, you have nerves of steel. You're moving into a game 5 against arguably some of the best people in Europe. You know, these guys have been there, done it all, the legendary players. But honestly, they're coming out of all guns blazing. I really want to see if we see Batchford pulling the kind of level what he did just then. and Flux also in the kind of level of players he's been putting in the last few games, I really think this will be game, set, and match, and Infused will just ruffle stomp them.
I mean, there's two sides to this story. If Vibe lose now, they have to play U4X tomorrow to stay in a chance of getting to the final. So there's pressure on both ends.
And that's generally the story of this entire Game 5. Who has the nerves of steel? Who can clutch it up and win this last Game 5 Slayer on Plaza? Tweet the stream, use the hashtag HCS, give us a follow at ESL Halo on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Let everyone know what's going on right now. Infused versus Vibe. Game number 5, Plaza Slayer. We're kicking things off with Flux. He's been playing out of his mind these last few games. He's going to meet Lunny straight off the bat, going toe-to-toe with an AR, missing a few shots, but he will get one on the board. That's 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden it's 3-0 to Team Infused. Warlord grabbing himself an OS to boot.
What a start from Infused. Clearly they have got that well practiced and down to the drill. That is one of the advantages of not making a change, is you know exactly what your starting strat is going to be. Vibe, on the other hand, they were a little bit shaky. Flux was able to get nice battle rifle shots. He is able to take down Snaky. Snaky did his best at staying alive. He looks across to see if he can get the triple from Septic, but Septic is going to run away. And in the moment, Flux is doing really well with his battle rifle, just supporting his team. But Lunny is going to challenge him with the Hydra. I say the Hydra is terrible, but Lunny is using it for good effect. However, Flux,
yeah, when you looked at it though, fair enough, he was hitting at the floor, but I don't think he actually managed to land a single shot. He certainly, and Harry will nod his head from experience here, one weapon that you can just scope in from across the map, and you'll just see fireworks flying through the sky and just coming from behind and cracking someone in the head. You can get kills, don't get me wrong, if you go toe-to-toe with them, fire it at the floor, but unfortunately missed a few of them then. The splash damage isn't as great as what you kind of expect. Moving to third-person mode, you can see we just saw the blunt end of a sniper rifle behind him as well. So they've got Sniper pretty much locked down in Cafe. Jesus, this, if you wanted a start of a Slayer, this is it.
Yeah, they've got full map control. We see Riot trying to sneak round, but Flux does get an eye on him. He will tell his teammate Batchford. Batchford will take the fight. It is actually Warlord, sorry, not Batchford. And Riot is unfortunate there. He was trying to make a play. He was trying to be sneaky, but he just got caught out. If he were able to not be seen, then maybe they could have done something. But yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Vibe. And to get back into this game, they really need to be pushing as a unit.
I liked how Harry was just kind of flicking back and forth. That's going to be a double kill.
No.
What movement from dirty Flux with the SMGG, but just kind of flicking back and forth on that goose. There's a couple of donuts flying around the battlefield right now. Flux just taking down Cafe, looking towards top gold, throwing grenades in, hoping to get some hit markers. If he, I mean, the better option is literally just anchor. He's going to chase that one kill there because it's an easy kill for him, but I love the play. You've got the kill. He's now just going to back off, fight again. OS is up. Big OS.
Have we switched off Flux?
Nah.
No, I don't think so.
I'm happy.
We've been with Flux since the start of the game. He's now got the second overshield. He's had rifle control for a lot of the game as well. He will take down Riot. So that's all his overshield gone though. But he'll have the tenacity to challenge this player. That's another double for Flux. Can he make it 3? No, he can't. First death for Flux.
Can you just hop on board with Doodle play? Look at that. You're a beautiful man, Harry. As soon as I say that, he just kind of pops across. He's got the wonderful boomstick of death sniper rifle. He's been popping off some bullets. How many kills does he actually have? Because he's had that thing from the start. So he's got 5 in the bag, which is pretty good out of all the bullets. Still 1 left. He can probably make this last one. One person coming around the corner and absolutely rips his face off. Fresh sniper is up. They're probably going to leave it for the team captain to come and get the ammo. However, shots are coming in thick and fast from Hotel. They didn't expect that guy to be anchoring down there. That's going to be Lunny. He's now up on the Hotel ledge, which is a fantastic angle. We first saw Speed back at the start of the Pro League using that to full effect, and we're seeing players use it more and more.
And this is the way that Vibe need to get back into this game. They need control of this sniper, and they need to do exactly what Infused were doing to them just moments ago. They need to trap them in the yard, use their sniper as Septic does try and hit a shot, but he does whiff it a little bit, and that will allow Infused to kind of push through this Cafe and put some pressure on him.
The thing is, Hill are being called out, and if I know Infused, they're very patient players. Even though they're young guns, they're very patient. Batchford will challenge. Septic goes for the no-scope. Unfortunately, doesn't land it. We can see the one-on-one battle going on between Warlord and Lunny right now. Warlord can't back out, though, otherwise he's going to get taken down by Septic. Saying that, he actually gets the kill. Septic doesn't manage to find his shot. Will come round. We're going to see Doodle take one. All of a sudden, he's boxed in, pinned in. That is how you shut down a sniper and make it your sniper.
If he had hit one of those shots across the cafe, that could have been a little bit different. There wouldn't have been as much aggression coming out of Infused. Unfortunately for Septic, Warlord was at that kind of mid-range angle when you have the sniper, and it is kind of difficult with your sensitivity on your controller. He wasn't able to tag the body shot. It meant he got shut down. That was their key back into the game. Infused doing really well to ensure that that sniper was taken out of the hands.
Flux is going to challenge for this OS. Someone's going to put a grenade down. Unfortunately, I would personally just like him to stay where he was. He had the nuke combo. He could have just shut anybody down running for it. Not entirely sure who grabbed it, but Septic's got himself a sniper rifle. This could be the turning point.
It was Vibe who burned it. I believe it was Riots, but Vibe looked like they had no idea the overshield was even on this map. Like, they didn't even know it was up. Flux, off the respawn, knew it would be up. He grabbed the plasma pistol to try and burn anyone who got it. But there was no one in position for Vibe whatsoever to make use of the overshield. They didn't have any map control. They just didn't even seem like they wanted the overshield. It's crazy. You can't do that in the Pro League, and the scoreline pretty much speaks towards those mistakes.
I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think Septic's really been full effective with the amount of bullets that he's fired and transitioned into kills, and then unfortunately can't grab that one as well. He'll get shut down by Warlord. A couple of wasted bullets there. Dare I ask, Harry, do we have any gooses kind of flying around the field? I've not looked at any. No, but we've got a wild breadstick running loose at the bottom in the form of the... Whoa.
Ouch!
Yeah, 1 and 16. That breadstick's been in the oven too long. That thing is burnt to hell, and well done. As we see another player challenging Snakey, SMGG. That is game, set, and match 20-42. This is a devastating blow for Team Vibe, and honestly, I can only imagine that kill by kill, if you Vibe, you're just thinking, oh god, let's get this over and done with, but Infused are feeding on this. These are big names in European Halo. This is what you want to be doing to solidify yourself at the top of European Halo.
I really hate to put Riots on blast right now, but he's only got 1 kill. And how many times do we talk about those 12 kills? Those 12 deaths, excuse me. Those 12 deaths is, you don't want any more than 12 deaths. The game isn't over yet, and he's already got 17. Like, that's ridiculous.
It's the same as Truth, as we saw earlier. When you are snowballing out of control, you do just kind of run out. You're trying to do everything for your team, and you just die and die again. He probably wouldn't have been looking at his deaths. He's a very experienced player, but suddenly he will kind of press back and be like, oh, I've died 17 times. I'm sorry, guys, but this Vibe lineup wouldn't have want to lose to Infused. These Infused players are young. They're like... The experience on this Vibe squad should have probably won them this game, but credit to Infused. They've been fantastic this game 5.
Once again, though, Infused grabbing the overshield. Vibe didn't even know it was coming up. To be fair, neither did I. I didn't have a clue. But
he got a second kill, Harry.
Yeah, but again, no overshield, no map control from Vibe. They looked absolutely ridiculous there in Game 5. And Infused will solidify the win in the Pro League. They will take down Vibe 3-2, winning Game 5.
I think it's only fair to notice the kill feeds on there. 2 and 19 is just simply in a Slayer game. I don't want to say unacceptable, but the deaths... Sorry, it was actually 2 and 19.
It is unacceptable. You can't do that at this level of play. You can't have 19 deaths in the Slayer, let alone only getting 2 kills. If he had like 40 assists and he won the game, then yeah, sure, I suppose that's acceptable, but that really is just not good enough.
I'd like to say that that's a wake-up call for this Vibe team, but they have to face off against U4X next week. If they lose that, they cannot make finals.
Really, so that's going to be them in relegation.
And it just looks like they've kind of given up.
Yeah, not great. But you know what? Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the positive. Infused coming back. All guns blazing. We saw a couple of doubts in the mind throughout the transfer period. But you know what? This is the kind of thing that we want. Oh, come on, mate. What are you playing at? But we saw a couple of doubts in the mind. We saw some things. But honestly, that looked like... I've been hearing a few players say it in the past. Reset. Restart. This is the kind of thing that we wanted. We saw Batchford out on Twitter. That's it, boys. We're winning this. We're making finals. It's job done. Quick break. Quick kind of reset that we saw. The initial game was... I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt on that one. Game 5 is where it matters. That's where they pulled it out of the bag, and they pulled it out of the bag in a very, very big way. We're going to be getting Captain Doodle on the line in just a second, and we'll talk to him about the recent, I don't want to say roster change, but kind of how he feels now that they've just done that and how he feels about this roster as a whole. Dan, I mean, can I get your initial thoughts on the whole on the series as a whole?
I was really excited to see this Vibe lineup, and after that initial 3-0, I was thinking, well, Vibe are here to stay. They're going to cement themselves in the Pro League. But then Truth Slayer happened, and then Rig Strongholds happened, and okay, yeah, they fought back in Stasis Flag, but Negative 17 from Riots. I don't want to...
In a Slayer.
I mean, it's not
Feels
the Riots
bad, man.
we're used to seeing. Riots is one of the best players in Europe from older Halo games, but he just doesn't seem to be gelling at the moment with it. Maybe it's a lack of practice. Maybe he really needs to step up his game for tomorrow.
Feels bad, man, indeed. But feels batch, man. You know what? It's he's going to be very happy as Team Infused will move forward. And all. I think we do believe we have Team Captain Doodle on the line. Oh, no, not yet. The call is still ongoing, so we'll get that in just a second. Harry, I think it's safe to say we're going to be seeing Vibe in relegation. They've got to go off against U4X, and I think it's a safe bet to say that they will probably lose that.
Yeah.
If you play against open series teams, open circuit teams like that, can we see them really in fall season? Because some of those open circuit teams are quite nasty.
Well, Vibe now have to look at making sure they finish 5th, because they then get to feel out those open bracket teams. They get to say, which team are we most comfortable against? Which team can we exploit the weaknesses of? That's very important now from Vibe going forward. If they can't get the win against U4X, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They could beat U4X tomorrow. U4X today didn't look like the U4X of old. So maybe Vibe can take a few games here and there, and then you never know what happens. But for now, Vibe, their priority, making sure they finish 5th so they can choose their opponent.
Speaking of opponents, let's jump on board with his last opponent, Mr. Daniel Peterson. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can do. What's going on, Doodle? How you feeling, man, after that win? Because that's the kind of the big win that you guys are wanting. You really wanted to... We've heard about all the mishaps and the stuff going on through the week. We're putting that behind us. We're moving forward. This is Infused. You guys are here to stay. How do you feel after a Game 5 win?
Oh, that was a little... I'm a little sweating right now. That was a tough win. I mean... Truth, like Game 1, it was just a bad start. We had to warm up a little, but I definitely felt like we came out strong in Game 2, and then that kind of set the pace for the series. I mean, Stasis Flag, it was a close one. We thought we had it at one point, but nah, they played really well. And yeah, Game 5, that was a good Game 5, huh?
And do you think that kind of the Game 1 Truth CTF is that a bad map for you guys? Are you going to be vetoing that out next week?
I think we just need to practice it more. I feel like it's the game type that we start off every scrim with, and usually we have to warm up in the first game of the scrim, so we get really bad practice on it. Like we get it 3-0 quite fast usually, so we definitely need to put more proper time into the CTF Truth. Yeah.
Doodle, I want to talk to you about a team elsewhere in the league. U4X recently made a change. They were previously undefeated, only dropping 1 map. Now they've dropped 2 just today. What's your opinion on the change? Do you think they needed to make a change?
It's tough to say. I mean, it was a surprise. I don't personally think they need to make a change. They're always playing with each other. They're the team putting the most time of everyone. They're always playing matchmaking if they couldn't find a scrim. So I guess they just need to, get the chemistry going with 2Foxy a little bit, and they'll be just as strong, I'm pretty sure.
Dan, obviously you went out to the Halo World Championship and we saw what you did back on the Fabi roster. You've been over to America. You've seen what the scene's like. Obviously you're taking it away from there. You're here with a new team now. Do you feel more comfortable with this kind of roster that you've got? If you were to make it out to Halo World Championships, do you think you'd be able to put up a bit of a better fight than last time?
It's tough to say. I mean, I thought it went really well for us before we went to Worlds as well, but obviously there were some issues there. There's a long time until the next Worlds. There's loads of time to build up chemistry, and we plan on having this team for the long run. So I'm sure we'll be like very, very well practiced at that time. Our chemistry is top notch.
It's good to hear. Good to hear. Obviously, congratulations as well on the recent. I'm right in saying recent graduation.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Absolutely, congratulations, my man. And again, well done so far. We'll be seeing more action from you guys. If it's not broken, dude, don't fix it. We're happy you've got the same team, and we look forward to possibly seeing you guys at finals. Find out here in Leicester for the LAN finals.
All right, perfect.
See you later.
Yeah, see you.
So, and you know what? It's the one thing I always say about Doodle. He's very open and honest. He's very calm as well. Even when you see him in the LAN environment, the LAN situation, fair enough, we know he can get hyped, but he's a very level-headed captain, and that's what I kind of like. I think they've really got a good head at the lead of that train, so to speak.
The big thing that he said was, we're going to be sticking with this roster. I was happy to hear that. When the changes started to happen, sometimes players go, oh, well, we could make this change because we bring him in, and he's done really well in the past. They obviously thought about that. Now they've gone back to the original lineup. They would have learnt that lesson. We don't need to change. They've just beaten Snakey, who was at times considered going on to that lineup, so they will be feeling very good about themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing else to say,
Nothing
really.
else to say.
There's absolutely nothing
Sorry.
else to say. Both of them have been doing quite well. We've seen previous. But we have seen 2 Game 5s. Nobody expected it. It's all his fault, so I'm just going to hold him for... It's getting a bit weird now, mate.
It's a bit weird.
You that hungry?
Yeah, I actually really am.
Calm down, pal.
I
All
will.
right, guys, we're going to go into a very, very short break. Do not go anywhere. And, of course, we have our final series of the evening. It's going to be the X-Men back in action this time with Ramirez on the roster. Do not go anywhere. We're back in a second.